Good morning, everybody. Happy Wednesday to you. I hope you're having a great day. J.R. Fisher here, and I've got a really cool session for you today. Really cool. As a matter of fact, today I want to talk to you about how I set up my business for passive income, how it actually makes money, and I don't have to do any work. So if you're interested in that, that's what we're going to talk about today. However, if you've got any questions whatsoever about buying, selling, doing anything online, marketing online, this is the session for you because you can ask any questions you want. I'm so glad to be back with you guys. Gosh, I missed like a month almost of going live and talking to you guys. And that was tough. That was pretty tough. So welcome, everybody. I appreciate you being here. Let me know you're here if you would. Do me a favor, post in that chat section there. Tyan's here. Hi there. Going to be a rainy fall day here. You know what, Tyan? It's kind of overcast here today and cloudy. And I don't really want that today because I got a new drone and I charged it up yesterday and I want to kind of test it out. But yeah, we got kind of the same thing going on here. I don't know if it's going to rain or not, but it is definitely cloudy. And thank you for putting comment in there. I do appreciate it. Everybody, please put comments in there. It means so much to me. It also helps the distribution of my videos. So in other words, if they got more comments, they got more likes, they got all that stuff, then YouTube actually shows it to more people and more people benefit from it. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't done so. Hit that subscribe button down there. And I guess you can hear me, right? Everybody can hear me. Put in there if you can hear me. I want to make sure that the audio is working in the video and all that good stuff. Don't forget to ring the bell, turn on all bell notifications so you're notified each and every time I go live. If you were on my subscription list this morning, you were probably notified. Plus, I sent out an email and I sent out a text just to let you guys know what was going on. I think today's subject matter is probably, once you get going, one of the most important because things can happen in life where you can't work. Or maybe you just want to take vacations and you want to travel and you don't want to have to work on your business every single day. Today's session will explain to you how I've done that, how I've set that up to where I have that automated income. And it's awesome. I got to tell you, it is really awesome. I remember when I had the illness a few weeks ago and I was just laying on my couch and I was like passed out most of the day. And every now and then I'd pick up my phone and I would just see money coming in. I would just see money. It was really an awesome feeling to have that, to know that I've got that set up. And I keep looking over here, guys, because I do have an iPad right here to answer your questions, but I can also answer over here. So let me just put something in here. I'll type in here and I can talk it. Welcome, everybody, to the broadcast today, all about passive income. And that will actually send that message out to Facebook and to YouTube because we're live on Facebook and YouTube. No matter where you're at, we're live. I want to get right into this. When I first started my business, I was selling, I would call them trinkets, okay? Little tiny things that really didn't make me much money. I had a lot of little, I started off with cell phone cases and I really never made any money on cell phone cases, but it taught me how to sell online. And then I moved into like camping equipment and little gadgets and, survival tools and stuff like that. And what I had done is I started off with my utility room. There was a washer and dryer and some extra room in there. And a lot of my boxes of supplies were in there. I remember one of my neighbors who helped me with my kids every now and then, Barbara, would come over and she'd look in the utility room. She'd see all these boxes stacked up. She's like, what are you doing? I mean, what is going on in here? And I explained to her that I was going to be selling products online and that was my inventory. And she kind of laughed and shook her head like, oh my God, this is ridiculous. Well, it did grow. It did grow. It grew pretty well, really. And what I did is in my garage, I never put my car in my garage for one reason or another. But what I did in my garage is I put these racks, and these racks went down my garage, and I had all my inventory stacked up in these racks in my garage. And I had bought some cheap racks from like Costco, something like that. And that way I could go out there, I could get the products. I'd usually go back to my bedroom, which is at the other end of the house. And I would package them up in boxes and, envelopes, depending what size it was. And this was very time consuming. I mean, I would get in that garage and I would, try to pull whatever things I had sold for the day. And keep in mind, I wasn't making a lot of money. I was making maybe $200 or $300 a month at that time. Profit, I was probably selling $1,000 or $2,000. So it wasn't a lot of money, but I knew somewhere in the back of my mind, I needed to keep doing this. I knew somewhere in the back of my mind that this thing could grow into something much, much bigger. And it did over the years. It actually did over the years. But that's where I kept all my inventory. And then I brought that stuff back to my bedroom and I put it in envelopes and I would print out stickers and, the shipping labels and all that stuff. And I would enter in, my tracking numbers and all that online. And that's pretty much how I ran my business. But understand, this took hours every night out of my life, hours and hours of my time every night. So I was extremely busy. As the years went on, I moved more and more into survival food. I started off with a 650 square foot warehouse. It had, I guess you'd call it an office. The front of the warehouse was probably about 12 feet wide and maybe about 7 or 8 feet deep. And I had a desk on one side and my wife had a desk on the other. At the time, she was my girlfriend and we were engaged. And then behind that, there was a door, and the door went to the rest of the warehouse. And it was just an open area. And I brought those racks from my house. I put those in there and was selling out of that, warehouse. And that's what I did. I shipped stuff out of there. And that eventually got too small. So I found another warehouse and it was around, I think it was around 2,000 square feet. It had a much bigger office area. As a matter of fact, we put 3 desks in there. At that time, it was myself, my wife, and my daughter who had come to work for us. She had just graduated college and figured out that college degrees don't mean that you get paid a lot of money when you get out of college. So she came to work for me. And then we had a pretty big warehouse in there. I mean, to me, it was 2,000 square feet, including the office. And we had some big racks in there. I mean, ones that were way over our head type racks. So I actually got a forklift. And I had a warehouse person. I had 2 warehouse people actually at the time. And their job was to, when the pallets came in, they took the forklift and they stacked it up on these big pallets. They organized everything, all the little trinkets I was still selling. I was still selling a lot of camping equipment and stuff like that. And we had a long rack along the back of the wall, and that's where all that stuff was organized. But it was mostly my canned meats and my freeze-dried foods at that time. So that's what we did. And we had that. And then we got a contract to actually make a bunch of freeze-dried food buckets for a big gun dealer in the Midwest. And they wanted, I don't know, probably $200,000 was that contract. To me, that was a lot of money. $200,000 was a lot of money. And we had to have more room. So next to that warehouse, there was another 1,000 square feet of warehouse space. And I rented that out temporarily. And I had production in there where I had a bunch of workers and they were taking pouches that, I had made, and the pouches went into these buckets and we put these labels on them. And we were making them for this a big gun dealer in the Midwest. And so we had that. So we were up to 3,000 square feet. And, things were going along pretty good. And then finally, my wife and I decided we wanted to move out to California. We wanted to live in the Sunshine State. We wanted, better weather. We didn't really we lived in the Tidewater area at the time, and the crime was kind of bad and the economy was kind of bad. And it just wasn't something that, we wanted to deal with anymore. So we moved our business out to California. Now I had stars in my eyes at the time. I was like, this thing's going to grow into millions of dollars. And it actually did, but I don't know how it did. So I got a warehouse in California that was 12,500 square feet. I mean, pretty huge for me, 12,500 square feet. It had 6 bay doors that trucks could pull up to. Some of them were ground level. Some of them were elevated where the truck could just back up and, we could drive a forklift into the truck. And we had that. Let me see here. First, I'm getting chatbot business running. And I also want to get a children book based on cat out for December. That sounds very cool. You got some really cool stuff going on, Tyann. If you need help, let me know. Send me some questions or whatever. Tyann's been working on her businesses, and I hope you have too, guys, as you hear these stories that I'm telling you about it. So anyhow, we had this big office. The front of this warehouse that I got in California, it was in Poway, California. had a whole bunch of offices. I had one. We had a nice reception area with an area where, you know, that she could greet people coming in. My wife had an office there. We had a big section in the middle that was kind of open. Plus, we had another office there where I had somebody on sales that was on the phone, a gentleman that worked for us. Then I had the warehouse people in the back. I had a production room where we actually would fill the pouches with all the freeze-dried dehydrated foods. And then we could take those pouches and, of course, sell those. We could put them in bucket to do whatever we need to do. At that time, our sales was dropping. At that time, our sales was not doing well. At that time, you know, we had gone from, you know, probably well over $1 million a year, and it started to really back down. And we were getting kind of concerned because we had this big nut. You know, I had to pay, you know, I think it was $13,000 a month to rent the warehouse, and then I had all the employees and all that stuff. So I was well into 20 some odd $1,000s a month I had to spend, and things were going down. Things were not looking good. Okay, it was a time where I guess the kind of fad of survival food was wearing out a little bit. Oh yeah, guys, don't forget to give me a thumbs up if you would. I just saw somebody do it. If you would click that thumbs up button, that would mean a lot to me. And this also goes like if you're not watching this live, you're watching a recording of it later on. Please give me a thumbs up. You know, give me some encouragement. Give me some comments. I love getting those comments in there and those questions in there. So please do that for me. So anyhow, the business was going down a little bit, and we were concerned. And we really couldn't afford that warehouse anymore. It was really being difficult at that time. Let's see. Today, going to try to contact Kartra and my domain deal to connect the two again. So hard to get someone to just tell me what I need to do or push. You know what? If you send them a question, usually they're about 24 to 48 hours. They'll answer whatever you need. And there's also documentation, Tyann, about connecting your website to Kartra. So you can just type that in and go to their help desk, and you're going to find probably answers to most of those questions. So anyhow, warehouse, too expensive. Wasn't getting the job done anymore. So what I did is I looked for a 3PL, guys. And I want you to learn what a 3PL is. And I'm going to get into my other businesses in just a second and tell you how I make money off those. A 3PL is a third-party logistics. So they're not part of your company, but they are a segment of your company. They do something for your company. So what a third-party logistics is, in our case, was a warehouse in the Midwest, which was much smarter because, see, we were in California, and if we were shipping to somebody in California, it didn't cost us much. But if we were shipping to somebody on the East Coast from California, it cost us a ton of money. So we got a warehouse, a 3PL in the Midwest. And what we did is we shipped all of our products to that warehouse. Okay, so they charged us when those products came in. They charged us when those things were sitting there, and then they would charge us when they shipped them out. But outside of that, there was no cost to the warehouse. I didn't have employee cost. I didn't have utility cost anymore. I didn't have all these costs associated with having a huge warehouse like I did in California. Let me get a sip here real quick. So now we had the ability to manufacture at our manufacturing plant our products and then send them out to that warehouse, and then they could actually ship out the product. So what that did is that freed me up from having a warehouse person. It freed me up from, because I was going back to the warehouse too, and I was putting stuff in boxes and putting labels on it and doing all that. And it freed me up from all that. I didn't have to do that anymore. I had the added cost of somebody else doing it, but it was pretty low. It didn't cost me that much, $5 or $6 for each order of, a case of meat or something like that, which was not much money. And keep in mind, I didn't have to pay that fee, right? Unless I shipped something out. Now, there was minimums. I will tell you that. You had to have on $2,000 or $3,000, a month minimum cost, which I didn't mind so much because the warehouse cost me $20 some odd thousand. So it was a huge decrease in what I had to pay every single month. So that worked out pretty well. And then what I did is I got into doing some digital products. People were saying to me, hey, we want to know how to sell products online. Can you put together something? And then I put together my first course, which was Digital Cash Academy. And you'll find links to Digital Cash Academy and to a lot of my stuff in the bottom of my videos. I think it's on this video too, but if not, send me a message. I'll give you a link to it. And Digital Cash Academy actually showed people how to set up a drop shipping business. And then people wanted to know how to use Shopify. And I'm like, so I did another course on Shopify, and I called it Ecom Road, that would actually show people how to set up a Shopify store and walk them through all the steps. And then I did some training that was live in San Diego. Every 2 weeks, I was doing a training through Meetup where people would come in and I would teach them, how to market online. It was like chiropractors, it was plumbers, it was all kinds of different business owners in town that wanted to market online would come to this meetup that I had, and I taught them how to actually sell online so that they could market online, which was pretty cool. Let's see. Tyann says, yes, I have checked all that out, but my domain thing all looks different than what Kartra describes. Yeah, it's not that difficult to do. But if you have problems, let me know, Tyann. If you have some specific questions or something, I'll be happy to help you out. Jessica does that all the time. They call her the Kartra Queen because she can set up anything in Kartra. I love Kartra. Kartra's amazing. And not to mention yesterday, now I'm not going to get off subject, don't worry, but not to mention yesterday, I got a payment from Kartra because I've turned enough people onto Kartra where every month I get payments because they're paying Kartra and I get a percentage of that, which is pretty nice. I mean, it's not a huge amount of money, but it's extra money. So yeah, I love Kartra. Love Kartra. So anyhow, I now had these other courses. Now these courses, people could actually go online and they could purchase the course. It would automatically enroll them in the course. It would send them all their login details. It would send them their passwords, all that good stuff. And they had access to the course, and there was nothing for me to put in a box. Nothing for me to put in a box, okay? But I did have the warehouse set up. Now we eventually moved to a better and better warehouse situation to where now everything's automated. So when somebody puts an order in for some of our canned meats or something like that, we can just pretty much click a button and send those orders over to the warehouse. They print out the labels, they box up whatever the product is, and they ship it out. So now I want to get up to the point where I got sick. I got the illness, and everybody knows what the illness is. Hope you do. Hope you know. It's been going around the world. It's been kind of popular. And I couldn't do anything. I really couldn't do anything. All I was doing is pretty much sleeping and sitting on the couch. But now I had all these different things. And oh yeah, I want to add, I had YouTube, right? And what I had done on YouTube is I usually batch videos. So I'll record like 12 videos in a day. And this past week, I did 6 one day and 6 the next. I was worn out because that was the first time I had been back doing videos. But I would batch 12 videos and I would give them to my editor who is in the Philippines. And we have people in different places around the world that do different stuff for us. We have people in India and Pakistan and Canada and Mexico and all these different places. But anyhow, so he would actually do the edits for them, and then he would schedule them online. And my schedule online now is Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So he would schedule them Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And he had enough videos to where all that period of time when I was sick, videos still kept coming up Monday, Wednesday, Friday, because I had sent him enough videos to where that could be done. And in doing so, YouTube was paying me money too, because when my videos go up, they actually run ads on my videos. And of course you won't see an ad now because we're live. But once they're published, they run ads on my videos and I get a percentage of that ad revenue. And this morning, my CPM, I think, was $27 and something, which is crazy. It should only be about $1 to $5. However, I guess it's the audience. You guys are high quality and people want to pay to be in front of you. And my RPM, which is what the advertisers actually pay, was almost $50. It was $49 and some change. So I get the $27 and some change, and that's per 1,000 views. So I won't get into the math or anything like that, but I make a lot of money off that now. It's kind of nice. So I'm laying on the couch, and you guys can do the same thing. That's why I'm sharing it with you. There's no reason you can't do the same thing I'm doing. There's no reason. I've taught a lot of people, thousands of people over the years, and some people will do nothing. They just do nothing. And then some people will take the information, they apply it, and make a lot of money. They quit their job. You can do the same thing. There's no reason why you can't do what I'm doing. I'm no different than you. I'm a guy, keep in mind, that didn't know how to type. I still don't know how to type. I still hunt and peck with a few fingers, okay? I'm a guy who didn't even know how to send an email. I knew nothing about technology. I didn't grow up with all this stuff, okay? Well, I take that back. Everybody who's alive grew up with this stuff. I hear people all the time say, well, I grew up in the 50s or 60s or 70s and they didn't have all this, so I don't know about technology. Well, when did technology come along? Technology came along in the 80s, 90s, and 2000s, and you were alive then. So if you were alive then, yes, you did. You were exposed to it. Okay. You were just as exposed as anybody else. So I hate that excuse that you didn't grow up with it. Yes, you did. You grew up with it at an older age. You had more opportunity to learn it. You already had more life skills. Matter of fact, you should be better at it than the young people should because you got exposed to it as an adult. Think about that. Quit using that for an excuse. I hate that excuse. Oh my God. I have people who will call our office and like, yeah, I don't know anything about technology, so I thought I'd give you a call. And they're 50 years old or they're 45 or 60 or whatever it is. I'm like, you grew up with it too. Stop that. Stop that thing that you've got in your head that tells yourself you can't do something because you weren't exposed to something as a child. It doesn't matter if you were exposed as a child. If you're exposed in your 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, then you were exposed still. Don't use that for an excuse. So anyhow, you can learn any of this. I didn't have the technology background. But let me reiterate what I've been talking about. I have an automated warehouse. Okay. So when orders come in, all we do is send over the orders to the warehouse. They automatically go out. I have automated classes. So when people sign up for my classes, they maybe pay me a monthly fee. I have some that are $27 a month. I have some that are $47. I have some that are $97. I have some that are $497 a month. So that monthly income just comes in every single month. It's really, really nice. I have straight sell, flat sell, whatever you want to call it, courses where people will pay $997 and they get access to my course. It's a one-time fee, but I get those. Okay. I have affiliate sales. So my products are on ClickBank. They sell on ClickBank and people get a percentage and I make money off that. My products are on Share a Sale. Share a Sale is a bunch of affiliates who market my products. They send somebody to my website. When somebody buys, I pay them a fee. So I have all these things that are making me money. So I can literally sit on the couch. Somebody's trying to call me. I can literally sit on the couch and do nothing. And I have an income. I can literally sit on the couch and do nothing and I have an income. I don't want to sit on the couch and do nothing. But when I was ill, I could do that. That afforded me that. And that was like 3 weeks of not really being able to work at all. I mean, I couldn't hardly do anything. Are you in a position where you can do that? Could you take 3 weeks off and still make thousands of dollars a day? And if not, why not? If not, why not? Why not? Why haven't you done some of these things? Why haven't you listened and applied some of this stuff? Now, some of you have. I'm not preaching to those people who have that are already making a ton of money that are students of mine, because there's a lot of those out there listening too. But I am preaching to you guys who haven't done anything. If you haven't done anything, you got to ask yourself, why not? It's probably because of lack of belief in yourself. It's probably because you don't think you could do these things. It's probably because you think I'm special. I ain't special, man. Okay. If you look at when I got exposed to all this technology stuff, it was in my 40s and 50s. Okay. That's when I got exposed to this stuff. So if I can figure it out, if I can learn, you can learn anything. I mean, you can literally learn anything. It's not that hard to learn something. But if you resist it, if you put up this wall and say, yeah, I'm from a different generation, or, I'm not good at technology, well, then get good at it. If you're not good at something, what can you get good at? You can get good at anything you want, anything you want to do, anything you put your mind to. I don't care if it's learning a language. I don't care if it's technology. I don't care if it's marketing online. You can learn any of this stuff. My channel that you're listening to right now has over 1,000 videos. That's a milestone, right? I've got over 1,000 videos on my channel, and guess how much it costs to watch them? They are free. They teach you all this stuff. They teach you. I do millions in sales a year, and I put it into videos and I put it on YouTube so that you can just watch it. Just watch it. You can see exactly what I've done. Okay. Why not take that information or grab one of my courses? It makes it a little bit more organized. Grab one of the ones for $27 a month. Go and join, Webcash Academy or Ecom Road, one of those courses for 27 bucks. I mean, seriously, how much have you spent on your education over the years? You got to ask yourself that question. Now, some people have spent, $100,000 for a college degree, and I don't know what that gets you. I don't know. I've got a college degree. I don't know what it got me. I think the one thing the college degree did get me was my ability to finish something. It told me that I could finish something. And I got to tell you, that's pretty helpful. If you know that you can finish things, you'll tend to start more things. If you think you're not going to finish anything, you tend to not start a lot of things. Okay. So it did tell me that. So I just wanted to share with you that story, how I could get sick. I mean, really, really sick, and still make money every single day. And I want to express to you, and I tried to express this to you yesterday, you can too. You can too. There's no difference in you and me. Stop it with that difference thing. Stop it with that I didn't have exposure to this. Stop it with that I didn't have this great product. You can do the same things I'm doing. You can have an automated passive income where you can go on a cruise or a vacation, which I'm getting ready to do, and still have money coming in. You can do that. Okay. This entire house that I'm sitting in right now, my office, everything was built with money I made online. Okay. I haven't worked for anybody in over a decade. Going on 12 years, I haven't worked for anybody. Okay. I've made my own money online. You know how good that feels? You know how good would that feel good to you? Would that feel good to you? Where you could